Hi, welcome to the Linhart Kitchen. Tonight for dinner we are having Parmesan-Crusted Chicken with Creamy Risotto. It's going to be a great dinner. It's going to be made in less than 30 minutes, and I know that your family will enjoy this recipe also. So, the ingredients are very simple. You need 2 eggs, which we have. 2 eggs, some breadcrumbs, plain ones, Parmesan cheese, boneless, skinless chicken breast, vegetable oil, petite diced tomatoes, a can of tomato sauce, some red pepper flakes, salt, pepper, and 2 ounces of cream cheese. And what else? Instant rice, 2 cups of instant rice, and 1 zucchini. All right, so I have our handy dandy meat tenderizer. This you can also twist apart and turn it to the flat side, but right now we want to use this serrated edge side. Notice here that it is not cutting my hand. What it does is it tenderizes your meat. So only thing you have to do is flatten out your chicken. You can do it on both sides. Any hard surface will do. My dog, she doesn't like that sound. Thinks somebody's breaking into my house. I'm surprised. She's 14. She really can't hear anything. But I'm just going to flip it over, get the back nice and ready to tenderize. Nice flat. Trying to get it about the same. But this was a butcher chicken, so it's not going to work out for me. All right, step 2. We have 3 trays. These are handy dandy trays. Notice that they join together. We're only going to use 2 of the trays. You can lift them. And we have a set of tongs. First thing I want to do is use this microplane adjustable grater. It's a coarse kind. I don't know if you can see this or not, so probably if I do it this direction, which will be my opposite hand, but that's okay. So you need 2 ounces of cream, you need 2 ounces of Parmesan cheese for this. So you put it in the safety holder slides right in. And I'm going to set it right on top of the pre-measured out breadcrumbs. And I'm just going to go up and down with this grater. I have to move it on in so it'll stay in our trays. Now it does call for 2 ounces. I always like to put a little extra in mine, just because. But we're probably going to need some reserve. So it's nice. I like the coarse grater for this rather than the fine grater, but you can use the fine. Oh, that smells good. Okay, knock some of that off of there. I'm going to set it down in here. You don't have to get that. That's my sink. And then I'm just going to mix it with my fingers. Just mix the breadcrumbs. The next thing we want to do is we want to measure out some pepper. Pepper and red pepper flakes, some salt, and press some garlic. I'm going to go ahead and press it. It's already pre-cut. I didn't get the end cut, so I'm going to cut that off. Put that right down in there. We'll press it in. I'm not going to worry about getting that off until I have all of my garlic pressed. I'm going to put a few cloves in this time. Okay. A couple more. It calls for 3 large cloves, so you put in what you like. If you don't have the Barbie brush, you just use a knife to scrape it, and all of the extra peeling is left in here, and you can use a knife to just kind of get that out. And if you have a garbage disposal, that's good. And we'll just put that down in there. Let's see, what else do we need? I'm looking at my recipe because I cannot remember everything. Where are you? Red pepper, we need a half of a teaspoon. I like these adjustable teaspoon and tablespoon measurements. Have to go to the teaspoon. And so we have just, you can put it down inside there so that you don't get too much. All right, and then we're just going to kind of sprinkle that. I'm not going to use quite that much. I don't like hot food. Some of you do, so you can have what you want. A little bit of pepper, and I'm just going to do some salt. You can sprinkle your salt, or you can actually do your measuring of a teaspoon or a half of a teaspoon. All right. That makes it fast and easy. We'll replace my lid because my kids will pour it. We'll go ahead and give that a good turn and really get that garlic pushed in with my fingers. If you don't like to cook with your fingers, then you may certainly use your tongs to just kind of mix this around. I don't have a little tiny whip, so I'm going to use just a fork. Man, that is smelling so fabulous. That is smelling so good. Next thing we need to do is 2 tablespoons of oil and get our skillet, 12-inch skillet heated up. I don't know if you can see this part over here, and I apologize if you can't, but I'm just going to go ahead and get that started so that it starts to heat up. And then we're going to crack 2 eggs. These are farm fresh eggs. I love when I can get all fresh ingredients. It makes cooking and the taste of your food so much better. You can whisk this if you want to. I'm just going to kind of use a fork. So, like so. And I think I might use this 3rd tray. A fork, you could use a fork to dip, but these tongs would be come in handy. And so you just grip one and you put it in there. And then we're going to give it a flip. Coat it nice and get nice. Alright, and then pat it down a little bit so that you get the mixture on your piece of chicken. And I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll be back with you when I get all of these ready to go. Alright, so I have that mixture on both sides. I've heated the skillet. You could probably hear it sizzle. I'm going to heat it on both sides. Probably, the recipe recommends about 6 minutes on each side until the internal temperature is 165 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go ahead and put a cover on it just for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and start making the next step in our recipe. So this is Pampered Chef's handy dandy can opener. Notice there's no blade. You won't get your fingers cut. It's perfect for children, perfect for adolescents. And what you want to do is you want to put this down, not the spinner, but this part on top of the can, and turn this, and it latches onto it. You turn it all the way around. Sometimes I go twice because I just forget where I started. So I'm just going to go until I think that I have loosened that can. Then I'll show you the neatest function of this can opener. And we sell a ton of these. So I'm just going to release that, and the little button makes these 2 little prongs move, and you put it right here, pull up, and now there's no sharp edges. And that's that. All right, here's another new little gadget for most of you. This is a can topper. You put it right on top of your can, and it drains. It's a strainer. Strains all of the juice out. For this recipe, we do not want this juice. So we're going to add this, mix this, these tomatoes into the classic batter bowl, right like that, the whole can. And then condensed tomato soup, which already has a pop top on it. So we'll just take that shortcut as well. But notice that this is really sharp. It could really, really hurt you. So then you want to put, dump that in there. Next, it calls for the milk, and it calls for 1 1/4 cup of milk. So we want to add that milk right on in there. And we will just use a serving spoon to mix that up. Now my family is quite large, so I made an extra skillet. I don't know if you can see that. You don't have to get that one. This one always cooks faster. So these are really turning out nicely. Our next step is very easy. I wanted to show you some tools that would help this process be quick in your kitchen as well as it is in mine. This is a crinkle cutter. Voila, very easy. If you were dicing up something to put in a salad, this makes nice little crinkles. Veggie peeler. You don't have to worry about getting your fingers as much, and it's a quicker process than using a paring knife to shave the skin. So I'm just going to put that on the side. I'm going to grab another cutting mat because it makes it go faster. All right. I'm going to take our handy dandy manual food chopper. I like it really fine because I like to hide it in the recipe so that my kids do not know what they're eating. Can you get how fine that's cut? This is a little bit cheaper than the manual food processor or the blender, and it works just as well. When the stainless steel blades inside not get bald, you would just use our skinny, what's it called, a skinny blade to sharpen it. And it just calls for 1 medium zucchini. Chop, 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 chop. All right, and it's easy to clean. It comes off in 3 pieces. And dump it in your sink. And I put it on this little tiny cutting mat just for this purpose so that I could lift this up. If I wanted to get all of that, I'd just take a scraper, which I might grab in just a second, and then this goes into the trash. Easy, easy cleanup. Our Parmesan-Crusted Chicken is now done. So I'm going to take it off and set it on the side for reserve. So turn down your heat to simmer. You want to add your mixture here. If your mixture happens to be a little bit thinner, add 1 cup of water. We are going to soften the cream cheese. And we need to add the 2 cups of rice. This one has jasmine rice. You can use white rice, but it has to be the uncooked instant. I'm going to go ahead and give this a little stir just so that it covers the jasmine rice. Really, you have a 1 skillet, you know, that's all you're cooking with, so cleanup should be very easy for this recipe. And what we want to do is bring this to a boil. So turn it back up a little bit, bring it to a boil. We want to add half of this cream cheese. Go ahead and just drop that in and swirl it around. It's not to a boil yet. Then we're going to cover this so that the rice cooks. Smells really good. You can add a little more garlic if you like. If you have some Pampered Chef garlic, that's always great. If you have some Pampered Chef onion, that's fabulous to add in. All right, let's let it heat up just slightly. Put my coarse grater. Can you get me over here, Hayden? I put my coarse grater in, so now we're going to have to use the fine grater. I happen to have a few of these because I use them all the time. I'm going to try to add, because I want to reserve this for when my mixture gets done. And this is kind of like a topping, or you can consider it a side, however you would like. It's a one pot kind of thing. So if you can get that, it's starting to simmer, starting to boil a little bit. So you want to cover this, and I still hear it. And I'm going to turn this down to about 3, which is really close to simmer. And that's going to simmer for about 3 minutes. And then I'm going to turn it off and let it stand for 5. And then while that's doing that, I don't know if I can do it on this little one. So, yeah, it's cutting it really fine. Let's try this bowl. Yeah, the bigger one works better. So what we do next is we just kind of stir this up, put it in the microwave. I'm going to get it just a hair softer, about 33 seconds. It's time to check on our rice, and it is starting to cook up nice. So we don't want it to stick to the bottom. That's the reason I'm kind of turning it. Now, if this was a great Pampered Chef pot or pan, which it's not, mine's on order, and but I couldn't wait to try this recipe. So it looks like it's almost done, not quite to my liking yet. So the sound that you're hearing is my microwave. I'm going to get that mixture back out. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I can see that the cheese is good. Now here is how not to use your cheese grater. Puppy will get that. But since it's a great block, my fingers are far away from the stainless steel plane here. I think I'm all right and I can do this. Like I said, I'm one that likes to add the extra cheese to the recipes. It might call for 2 ounces, but I end up using too much. But what I'm going to do is add this on top of my piece of chicken. Now, my family, however, might not. And I'm just going to give it another stir. That's fabulous. Very, very fine cheese. All right, I smell it. It smells so, so good. I have 1 piece of Parmesan-Crusted Chicken, and I have my cheese mixture. And so with this basting brush, I'm going to baste my chicken. I guess people would say finger looking good around here, my family. So now, if you want, you can add this into this and to stir it. Not unless you're a big chicken fan like me and want to make a big cheese fan. Make sure that I get enough chicken and cheese. And then I'm going to take my risotto and I'm going to kind of layer that on top. Oh man, that's delicious. You can even do it vice versa. Or you could do it vice versa, as I was saying, and take this creamy little risotto and just make a simple layer on the bottom and kind of make room for the chicken to go in the middle. Makes it a prettier plate. Can you get it still? Is it still in the... Like so, and that makes it really pretty. And then again, spread out some of this cheese base. If it gets hard on you, you just have to put it back in the microwave. This cheese base is what really makes this recipe. I can't tell you how many times I've tried this recipe without putting this, and this is just the bomb. This just makes it so much better. And there you have that. You can also flavor it with a little bit of parsley on top, and you can put a few little pieces on here like this so that they can see the pretty tomatoes. And that is dinner tonight.